Hello everybody, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things horror. And today we are, of course, talking about the latest horror phenomenon that is now on Shudder, Skinamarink. Just a quick disclaimer before I get into this video. I am someone that is very much the audience for the type of film that Skinamarink is. I'm the type of person that will go to a museum or an art house theater and sit down and watch a bunch of really weird experimental films. I do like experimental films. I like the way that they can take themes and ideas and explore those through imagery, audio, without really needing to rely too heavily on a narrative. So just keep in mind that that is my mindset going into this video. I'm not approaching this video as a review. I feel like there's been a lot of hype around this film already. You probably already know the type of film that this is, what the premise is. You might have already seen it at this point. So I'm really just gonna approach this talking about the things that I really liked about Skinamarink, just the kind of experience that I had while watching it. There will be spoilers in this review. I'm gonna be talking both about Skinamarink as well as the director's short film Heck. So again, I was really excited about this movie. I'm a big fan of, the Maya Darens, the Stan Brakhage, the Kenneth Angers, and I know that these filmmakers were big influences to director Kyle Edward Ball when he was creating this film. So for that alone, I was really excited that there was going to be this experimental horror film in the vein of these other filmmakers that I really like. Also from the trailer, I really dug the lo-fi analog horror look. Obviously, this is an aesthetic that has become very popular within the past few years, both within mainstream cinema as well as on YouTube. So all of these things were very intriguing, and then of course the film has had all of this hype around it within the past couple of weeks. And also just reading the reviews and reactions to it, it seemed like a film that might be better off watching in your living room at like 3 a.m. with the lights off. And that's what I did. I watched it at home with all of the lights off. It wasn't at 3 a.m., but it was still at night. And I went into the mindset of, I'm just gonna sit down and allow this film to take me somewhere. I'm not going in with any real expectations of what it's going to be. I did see a lot of complaints online about it being boring and like you're just looking at walls for 2 hours. And Skinamarink is not that. It's not like you're just staring at one static image the whole time. I was actually surprised by how many shots there were and how many cuts there were throughout it. And for me at least, there did seem to be a narrative progression, right? We're starting the film with this family. You can kind of see like the lights are on, and then throughout the course of the film, people start disappearing and things get a lot darker. And while I definitely understand why a lot of people are frustrated with this movie, I agree that the marketing campaign, the trailer for it, did make it seem to be a slightly different film than what it really is. I also agree that I think it might have gone on a little bit too long. It's funny because I just finished watching Heck before recording this video. If you don't know, Heck is essentially a 30-minute version of Skinamarink. I believe it might have been a proof of concept for this film that the director uploaded onto his YouTube channel. So just being at 30 minutes, I feel like Heck kind of ruined me even more than Skinamarink did. And I think a lot of that had to do with just its tightness, right? It was very condensed. While I understand and agree with some of the criticism here, overall, I do have to say that I really enjoyed Skinamarink. I really dug the imagery. I really liked the lo-fi graininess of the film. There's a lot of playing with this idea of just kind of being in this cycle and things constantly repeating and not being able to get out of the cycle. Again, going off of that kind of dream logic, right? Where you have a dream where you're just constantly kind of doing the same actions over and over again and you're not really getting anywhere. I think what I found so effective about the film is that it did trigger something in the back of my brain where it brought up all of these memories of being afraid as a kid. One of the moments that I really connected with that I wasn't expecting, and it was a moment where I just felt like so bad for the kids, is a scene towards the beginning where they have this nightlight out in the hallway, and whatever the thing is in the house, whatever the creature is in the house, it keeps turning the nightlight off. It either turns it off or just rips it out of the wall, and then at one point it just stops working. And as someone that had a nightlight as a kid and was very afraid of the dark, I really connected to that scene. I remember being a kid in my bedroom and having times where maybe the power would go out or something would happen to the bulb and the nightlight would just go out, and how utterly terrifying that was to just suddenly be surrounded in darkness and just your imagination going wild and just these ideas of like, you know, what is hiding in the darkness. So the film and the imagery definitely brought up those memories, as well as other memories too. Like obviously there's the fear of looking under the bed and something hiding under the bed. That whole sequence when the sister Kaylee goes up to the parents' bedrooms and you see the dad sitting on the edge of the bed and he's telling her like, look under the bed. I hated that whole scene. It was so well done and it was so creepy. For me, that was one of the best scenes in the entire film. Like it just got under my skin. But again, playing on childhood fears of something under the bed, and not even just childhood fears. Like I'm 31 and I still hate it when I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and then come back to my bed and it's like pitch black. Like I will literally go from the bathroom and just kind of like run and jump onto my bed because there's still some weird like primal fear in my brain that there could be something under the bed and it's gonna grab at me. So that's what I think the film did well, was playing on these very primal fears that we all have. And on top of that, you also have something going on with the mom and dad. The film sets up pretty clearly throughout that there's something going on with the parents. It seems like they're probably divorced or separated. You also have weird moments where like the brother asks about the mom and then you have the sister saying stuff like, I don't want to talk about mommy. And anytime you see the parents, they are behaving very strangely. And so the film's also tapping into these other weird fears that you have as a kid. And so yeah, to hear your parents fighting or, you know, getting a divorce and not understanding why mom and dad are separated, like that adds another unique layer of fear that you can experience as a child. The film also seems to be perhaps hinting at some kind of abuse happening. And the film does start with the young boy, Kevin, falling down the stairs. You can hear the dad on the phone at the beginning with someone, I'm assuming it was the mother. He's telling the person on the other end of the phone that Kevin fell down the stairs and hit his head really bad, but he's okay. And his tone is just very weird, like he doesn't sound as concerned as you think a father would be. And at first I was like, okay, maybe the dad is kind of abusive. Maybe he is the reason Kevin took a fall down the stairs. But then as the film goes on, there's also some weird stuff with the mom. And if you've seen the film, you know there's that really horrifying sequence in the kitchen with the whole knife thing. And when Kevin's being attacked in that moment with a knife, he's calling out mommy. And I guess for me, I was wondering, is he calling out for his mother because he's looking for her protection, or is he calling out because the entity that is attacking him in that moment is taking on the form of his mother? And perhaps you could read the monster in the house as just like this manifestation of all of this toxic energy that has been brewing between the parents. There's the other terrifying sequence when it is revealed that Kaylee no longer has her eyes or mouth. And later on, the monster says something along the lines of, Kaylee was asking for mom and dad, and so I had to take her mouth away. And so if this monster is supposed to be this personification of just the toxicness between mom and dad, then perhaps that's why when Kaylee is asking for mom and dad together, that's why the monster attacks. And so you could even look at it like that this is a film that's playing not just on childhood fears, but also fears that you have of being a parent, of failing to be a good parent, of putting your children in danger. So those are just my all over thoughts and theories about Skinamarink. Again, I personally really enjoyed this film. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your Skinamarink theories are. And I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.